Hey everybody, welcome to Midwest Tried and True. This is where we have real reviews from real people. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Stealth Cam Browtine trail cameras. These are pretty popular these days just because they're pretty inexpensive. You can get a set of two, which I have here, for less than $100. And if you're new to using trail cameras, or quite honestly, if you just want a couple of burner trail cameras, if you're going to be hunting public land or something, then these could be a really good option. So let's get into the specifics about this trail camera and kind of how it's set up. So here on the front, you can see you have this area up here, which is for taking pictures at night. You've got the lens and the camera here, and then the motion detector right here. The profile of this is not very big, which makes it really nice to throw in a pack if you need to hike out and set it up somewhere. There's a flap right here that essentially you open. That's waterproof, so that none of this electronics gets water on it if it's raining or snowing. But you have your 4-button dial pad right here, along with different settings right there that you can flip between. Essentially what you can do is you can preset it to different modes, and then when you're out there checking it, you can flip into the different modes that you want. Down here we have the SD card slot. So this does run off of the SD card. So if you have this set up in the woods, whenever you go to check it, you're going to need to pull out the SD card in order to check it. There's, as you can see, no screen in here to check it while the SD card is still in here. And then in here, if we flip this is where all the batteries are located in there. It takes 8 AA batteries. I've been using these for 3 years. And the set of 8 AA's gets me through one season. I live in the northern states, the upper Midwest, and so it gets cold outside, and still those 8 batteries are able to get me through one whole season from about August all the way through December, when it starts to get pretty cold outside. So to me, that's pretty good. That means that this trail camera is not sucking up a ton of juice that it doesn't need from those batteries. These are very easy to use if you've never used one before. It's pretty standard. It just comes with the clip that you thread this around the tree. You put these two ends together, pull it tight, put this flap down, and then you cinch it down and it's going to stay there. Now usually you put these at waist height or chest height depending upon the terrain. The best place to put these is going to be along corridors that are traveled a lot, whether it's a strong deer trail you have, if it's during the rut and you make a mock scrape, or it's pre-rut and you make a mock scrape. These are all areas where you can put up one of these if you're hunting whitetail deer. Those are going to be 2 good areas you can put this up if you're hunting deer, and that's going to capture a lot of good photos for you. I've never had an issue with this just turning off randomly or not being able to take photos when I thought it should be turned on. Now, one thing I do want to say is that these are not cell cams. So you really have to take out that SD card every time you want to check the pictures. Whereas now, many companies make trail cameras that you can hook up with a SIM card, and essentially you can get those photos directly to your phone or directly to your app. This is not one of those. Now, my quick take on that is, if you want, like I said earlier, kind of a burner trail camera where you aren't too nervous about it getting tossed around in a pack or being maybe on some public land, then this could be a good option. I've seen way too many stories and heard too many stories of people that put the more expensive cell cams on public land and they get stolen or they get beat up, and you're just out a bunch of money then. Whereas these are, like I said, more inexpensive, and you don't have to be worried about them quite as much. Now, the one bad thing I will say, if it's not a cell cam, is that if you're really looking for movement of deer, speaking whitetail deer in this situation, if you're really looking for movement, you got to go out and check these in order to see what pictures are on there. So if you don't want to disturb an area like a sanctuary area in the land that you're hunting, then it's going to be hard to check the SD card without disturbing the sanctuary. So that's one way that those cell cams, I would say, have the upper hand on these cards that are not connected to networks. If you're looking for a trail camera just to get started using a trail camera, if you don't need something that's super high tech, but you just need something that's functional and works, I would recommend picking up some of these Stealth Cam Browtine trail cameras. They have worked well. I've had them for 3 years. And if you're just looking for something basic, you don't need something crazy extravagant, but you need something that's going to be functional and work for a couple of years, then I would suggest going and picking up these, and they aren't that expensive.